The Prime Minister can't hide her frustration over the collapse of the Malaysia solution. In her first public comments since the deal was torpedoed, Julia Gillard has passed her own judgment on the highest court in the land. She's accused the Chief Justice of changing his mind and the full bench of turning asylum seeker law on its head. Here's Chief Political Correspondent Mark Simpkin.
Protesters welcomed Julia Gillard to Queensland, delivering their own verdict on the High Court's one.
Free the refugees! Shame, Gillard, shame!
The Prime Minister isn't taking responsibility for the court's decision. She's blaming activist judges.
The High Court's decision basically turns on its head the understanding of the law in this country prior to yesterday's decision.
The Prime Minister accused the court of inconsistency and singled out the Chief Justice, a Labor appointee.
His Honour, Mr Justice French, considered comparable legal questions when he was a judge of the Federal Court and made different decisions to the one that the High Court made yesterday.
An emergency cabinet meeting discussed the decision last night. The Solicitor General told it there's now a question mark over all offshore processing.
Even in locations where offshore processing has been conducted in the past.
In other words, Manus Island and the Coalition's preferred solution, Nauru, could also be off limits.
Within this particular region, probably only New Zealand clearly would meet all of the criteria that the court has identified.
Tony Abbott insists Nauru is still an option, and he wasted no time tossing brickbats in the Prime Minister's direction.
I think this is a government which this morning is almost dying of shame at its own incompetence.
Behind the scenes, Labor is dismayed and divided. Some on the right want a return to Nauru and temporary protection visas, while the left is appalled by any hint of the Pacific solution.
Have you guaranteed to the left factions within your party that you'll rule out using Nauru and temporary protection visas?
The only guarantee I ever give is that every decision we take will be taken in the national interest.
In the meantime, the government's bracing itself for what one insider called a virtual armada of boats. Blame's being sprayed in all directions: the judges, the Solicitor General and the Immigration Minister. One Labor backbencher told the ABC the decisions exposed the minister as a boy trying to do a man's job.
This Prime Minister gave me a job to do and I intend to continue to do it. The easy option would be to resign. The only thing that would happen if I resigned would be my quality of life might go up.
He's not going anywhere.
Sorry, Prime Minister.
Mark Simpkin, ABC News, Canberra.